Have you ever made a decision based on what everybody else thought, only to regret it later? I recently saw a video of a lady talking about how she divorced her husband and broke up her family, went back on the dating market trying to find a new man, only to realize that the dating pool is not so good. A year later, she wished that she never left her husband. She wished that she kept her family intact, because now her husband then moved on and she can't find a new mate. And you know what made her divorce her husband? Her single friends. Her single friends in her ear telling her all this foolishness. And she was influenced by that, and she regretted it. Can you relate to that? You have to realize that you're the driver of your own life. If you don't take control, somebody else will. And you might not like where they take you. In this video, I want to give you 4 lessons on how to take back control of your life and feel great about it. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and I'm the author of The Happiness Blueprint for Young Adults. How to avoid a life of regret by using your natural personality as a guide. And if you want to avoid a life of regret, you're going to have to jump in the driver's seat and take control of your own life. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Let's get right into it. One key factor for taking control of your life is taking control of your surroundings and the people that you surround yourself with. I know somebody personally who went to prison because they were hanging around negative people. Even if you are innocent, the very fact that you're hanging around negative people, you can get caught up in their negativity. For example, this person was driving and the passenger had a gun on him. And they got pulled over for some reason, whatever reason it was. And the cops searched the car and they found the gun. The driver didn't know about the gun, but the driver went to prison. So a big factor in taking control of your life is controlling the things that you can control. You can't control other people. You can only control yourself. You can control who you hang around. So ask yourself, who are the negative people in your life? Who is affecting you in a negative way? Why do you feel stuck? Oftentimes, it's because of your surroundings. There's a book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. I forget what section it was, but I remember reading in a book where he talks about your sphere of influence, taking control of the things that you can, and don't worry about the things that you can't. Separate yourself from negative people and get around more positive people. That's lesson 1. The second lesson is to stop outsourcing your decision making, especially on a big decision. The bigger the decision, the less people you should consult. You asking your parents, you asking your siblings, you asking friends, you asking colleagues, and now you got all these voices in your head. You hear all the other voices except your own. The only voices you hear in your head are other people's voice. You don't even hear your own voice because you got everybody else in your head. I'm not saying to not get advice, but if you are going to get advice, make sure if you're going to outsource your decision making, make sure the source that you're outsourcing to is a credible source. For example, if you are asking for advice about money, don't ask somebody who is terrible with money management, and they constantly asking to borrow money from you. Why would you ask them for money advice? If you're looking for health advice, talk to a doctor. If you're looking for money advice, talk to somebody who's good with money. And here's a gauge to know if this is a good source. Do they have the results that you want? If they are already at a place in life that you're trying to get to, then you can talk to them about that. Like, I was talking to somebody and they said to me, "Oh, do you believe everything that this person say?" I said, "No, I don't believe everything this person say, but this person is good with money. So yes, I believe what they told me about money, I believe that. But their relationships is trash. So I don't believe what they say concerning trash." So you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Well, who to talk to for what topics. That's lesson 2. Stop outsourcing your decision making. And if you are going to outsource it, make sure it's a credible source. The third lesson is that you don't need everybody's respect. Choose your battles wisely and choose the company that you keep. If somebody's been disrespectful, don't be around them. And don't try to force them to respect you, because you can't control what other people do. You can only control yourself. So if somebody's disrespectful, then remove yourself and go where you're wanted. Go where you're treated best and go where you're wanted. And get away from places that don't want you. You want to take back control of your life? I'm sure that you probably have some stinking thinking and negative self-talk. How can you have positive self-talk and positive thinking? One trick that I've recently heard of is giving that voice in your head, that negative voice, giving it a name and disassociate yourself from it. Especially if a good way to give it a name is to give it, so if I'm a man, I give it a woman's name. And if you're a woman, you give it a man's name. So I might call my negative voice, I might call it Tracy. And Tracy in my head talking all this foolishness, I can tell Tracy, shut up. You know, you can be, and disassociate myself. And don't let it be like a part of your identity. It's an outside identity. It's separate. It's not who I am. Tracy is a negative voice in my head who I ignore and disregard because all she's talking about is foolishness and negativity. So the positive identity, that's me. The positive self-talk, that's me. The negative self-talk, that's Tracy. And I don't want to hear nothing that she got to say. Try that. Run an experiment and see how that helps for you. Give that negative voice in your head, give it a name, and disassociate from it. Another thing to realize is that hardships are going to come. You can't avoid it. So you might as well embrace it and learn how to get through it. There's a book, it's called Tough Times Don't Last, but Tough People Do. You're going to have hardships. You're going to have problems. And you got to learn how to problem solve. You can never learn how to solve problems if you never have no problems to solve. If your life is so problem-free, you'll never learn how to problem solve. So embrace the problems, embrace the hardships, and see it as a lesson learned. You win or you learn. You never lose. Every hardship or every failure is just another lesson learned. If you never have no lessons, if you never have no hardships, you never get stronger. What does it say? Gold is tried in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You got to have some adversity. You got to have, if I can say that I can lift 200 pounds, I got to have 200 pounds to lift. How do you know you can lift 200 pounds if you don't have 200 pounds to lift? How do you know that you're a strong person if you don't have no adversity to overcome? How will you ever get stronger? You need resistance. It's just like when you exercise, you need to have resistance in order to build those muscles. Your confidence muscle is the same way. Your resilience muscle is the same way. Your mind and self-esteem is the same way. You need to have opposition to overcome, and it will make you stronger. So you want to take control of your life, realize that hard times are going to come, and they come for everybody. No matter how much money you got, how good your family relationships is, no matter how good your health is, whatever, it's always going to be something. And when you realize that and accept the fact that there's always going to be something, you won't be so in your head like, woe is me, and feeling like you're the only one who's going through it. You're not that special. There's always somebody who has already went through what you're going through. They overcame it, and they can help you if you're willing to listen and be open-minded. You want to learn how to take back control of your life? Be willing to, and see, that kind of sounds like a contradiction from what I said earlier is not having too many people in your ear, but that's the thing, not having too many people in your ear and not having the wrong people in your ear. You want to have the right people in your ear. Having just a few counselors who who are at a place in life that you want to be. That's the measuring stick. Not just any old body, not just friends and family and siblings and colleagues who don't have the results that you want. No, your counselors need to be people who have the results that you want. Now here's your action step. Identify one area in your life where you're going to take one of these 4 lessons and apply it to that area of your life where you can take back control. Is there somebody in your life that's negative? Take back control. Do you have negative voices in your head? Take back control. Leave a comment down below. Tell me, where are you going to take back control? I've invested the last few years curating the best ideas concerning health, wealth, humans, and happiness. And I share them with an exclusive community that I call the Curiosity Crew. If you want to learn more insights about how to become the best version of yourself, then click the link down below, enter your best email address, and watch this video right here.